Welcome back to the YouTube Ads Masterclass. We're in the third and final section of the training now. Obviously in the first video, we talked a little bit more about the psychology of your customer and the types of offers and how you position them in the right way for your YouTube ads. Then we talked a lot more about the targeting and how to get in front of your clients and your customers in the right way. And now we're going to start focusing on the creative. What actually makes an ad powerful, how to put it together, and how to have the biggest impact, because we know we can get in front of your customers now. We know what they're thinking. We have the perfect offer for them. Let's try and make this work as best as possible with some great creative. And creative really is the thing that separates all the businesses from everybody else. So if you can get this bit right and you know what you're aiming for, you're going to get a much better result with your ad campaigns. Okay, so let's talk about this, because when it comes to YouTube, there are kind of two main types of YouTube ads that you can run on YouTube, and really one main ad that you're going to want to pay attention to. There are lots of things like unskippable ads, and there's kind of the Google Display Network ads that you can run. I want you to ignore all that for the time being. You can get into that later. But first of all, you really want to master what's called the True View platform ads, okay? And the two types are, you get the in-stream ads, the videos before the videos you're about to watch. So you press play on a video on YouTube as a user, you're just about to watch play, it's just about to watch the video, sorry, and then an ad pops up in front of you. Okay, you know when that happens? Yep, the most annoying ads on the internet potentially. That's what I do all day long. I annoy the world. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, cool. So two main types. That one is called an in-stream ad, and you kind of characterize it with the skip ad button on the bottom right-hand corner. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, you have the white section where you can have like, there's a blue button inside of that white section, a bit of text there, and you're kind of encouraging people to click the button on the bottom left-hand corner as opposed to the bottom right-hand corner where it says skip ad, of course. So those are called in-stream. They play in the stream of the video you're about to watch, and they can run in the middle of the video and also at the end of the video as well. But in-stream is probably the most popular ad that's running on YouTube. But I didn't want to ignore the other type of ad, which is a discovery ad. You'll see it on the right-hand side. It's almost like the ones that are also suggested. And those ones, as I say, are called discovery. And the pricing model of these two different ads are different. So you pay per engagement, which is really important, right? Because with discovery ads, the ones that appear on the right-hand side, you pay per click. So as soon as someone decides to click to play your video, you're going to pay at that point. Okay, so as it loads up on YouTube and they watch it, you've already paid. Okay, you pay per click of that video because you're paying for that engagement, right? They've seen your thumbnail and they've chosen to click it, consciously made that decision to watch that video. Whereas with an in-stream ad, you're just interrupting people and you're getting in front of people, and they have an option to skip your ad and opt out of that ad should they so wish. But you'll only ever pay if they watch past 30 seconds. Now, there was some changes to the YouTube platform where now a view as a video is after 10 seconds, but you still only pay when someone watches past 30 seconds, which means that if someone watches 29 seconds of your video and then press the skip ad button, it won't cost you a penny. Now, you also do pay in two other scenarios. One is when they click to go to your website, and the other is if they actually get to the end of your video, if your video is less than 30 seconds in length. But that's not quite so common. So you're really paying when someone watches past 30 seconds or decides to click back to your website. Which means, as I said earlier, if someone watches 29 seconds of your video and then skips ad, it doesn't cost you a penny, but it's great brand awareness too. So these types of ads can perform incredibly well, but we're going to really double down and focus on the in-stream ad format. Okay, so one thing you want to be aware of when you get to your YouTube videos is you really want people to click at the end of your video. Of course, you want people to go to your website, right? And the more clicks you get per impression, in terms of when your ad actually loads up, the more clicks you get, that's called your click-through rate, your CTR. And when you're having more and more people click, YouTube are watching that and see that, okay, lots of people are engaging with that ad, that must be a good ad, and you kind of get rewarded with slightly lower cost over time, but also you get opportunities to scale more as well. So you really want a good click-through rate. The aim is anywhere between 1.5% plus. If you can get to 2% and 2% and above, you're doing really well. That's a fantastic ad. Okay, so with these types of ads, what we do is we run them and we do a lot of split testing. And I want to give you a little hack that I think you're going to find very, very powerful indeed. So we ran this ad, and what we did, the split test we did is very subtle. On the left-hand side one, you'll see that there was, at the end of the video, it just said click here to take the quiz. Okay, you're not going to watch this video, but you just say click here to take the quiz. There's a quiz about a fitness product that they have. This is by a great company called vshred.com. And on the right-hand side, we tested with a countdown timer. So in the last few seconds of that video, we actually counted people down to add that scarcity, but also to let people know they're running out of time. You better click, otherwise that other video we're about to watch is going to load up instead. Okay, so what we did is we add this countdown timer at the end of the video, and it bumped up the click-through rates by 32%, just by that one very small edit. Now, scarcity and running out of time or running out of anything is a really powerful motivator and a very persuasive method and technique to use. But this is like a really subtle way of using it without being obnoxious, without having to tell any kind of false scarcity stuff. This is purely about like, okay, time's running out, you're running out of time to watch this video, click the link if you're gonna click the link or not. And it bumped up that click-through rate by 32%, which made a massive difference to our performance in the account. So little things like that, if you add a countdown timer at the end of your video, you can expect to see amazing results as well. Now, if you found that useful, please do make sure you subscribe. I know you watch a lot of videos and people ask you to subscribe, but I really mean it, okay? Please do subscribe to this video. If you look below, if you're on a mobile, you'll see the red button, click that and then ring the bell. It means you'll get notified for more videos that we release. Or if you're on a desktop, you'll see on the bottom right-hand corner, the watermark, hover over that, click subscribe. You won't go anywhere, you'll stay in this video, but it means you'll get notified when I release new videos. Okay, cool. So let's move on. So I hopefully you found that technique useful. If you did, by the way, leave a comment below. I always like to hear of positive feedback. YouTube's full of trolls, full of negative comments all the time, so it's nice to hear something positive from time to time. So please do leave comments below as well. Okay, cool. Here's another technique we did. We decided to, before the end of the video, when we're doing the call to action, and it's coming to the end of the video, we would also add this little graphic in the top left-hand corner where it'd say, get ready to click. And it just kind of like the green or the bluish green marker would just rotate around the circle there, showing you that kind of running out of time, or like in a second, the button is going to appear to click when the button was already there. But we're kind of priming people to say, hey, look, get ready to click because I'm going to tell you to click in just a second. And then as soon as Todd Brown, decides to then say, click the button in the video, then a lot more people decided to click because we primed them beforehand. We told them it was coming up and they would kind of look at that and notice that they had to click in a second. So by telling them to do that, we saw huge increases in click-through rates. Now, in the first week we did this, we saw dramatic improvements, like 45% improvement in the click-through rate. And I just didn't believe it. And over time, that did drop down a little bit, but we're roughly around about 28% click-through rate improvements as a result of doing this, not just with Todd's videos, but with loads of other clients that we're working with as well. So now we test this every single time because it can make a dramatic difference to the performance of that click-through rate, because basically you're just telling people to click. And also we'd also do the countdown timer at the end there as well with this video, just to add that extra impact for the video itself. So this makes no difference to your script, no difference to your presenting ability, or no difference to your video content as such. It's just an edit tweak. And you can really improve your click-through rates, which is sometimes the biggest thing that you can do with your YouTube ad performance. So hopefully you go and use those techniques and hopefully you find them very, very useful. If you do, please comment, please share, please do whatever you can to promote this video because that's what I'm looking for, but I'm really looking for you to subscribe, if I haven't said that already. Okay, so that's about getting video viewers ready to go. Now, when it comes to your ads themselves, the structure of your ad, I wanted to give you a bit of a timeline to know how to kind of create the best ad. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs about like how to pull on the pain points and focus on the aims and the dreams of your customers and the status and how to position your offer in the right way and your credibility and your action plan, your walkthroughs or anything like that. I'm much more interested in making sure that you understand what to think about and why YouTube is different. Because of course, when it comes to that payment method of paying at 30 seconds or beyond, you want to keep that in mind, okay? So you've got this 30-second window at the start of the video. You've actually got a 5-second window at the start as well because it might press the skip ad button. So you really want to grab their attention by being really relevant at the start of the video. And then what I'd recommend you do is actually keep your videos to less than 140 seconds. We've done so much testing on loads of different video lengths. And yes, you can get some videos that are longer, like 8-10 minutes sometimes, that perform incredibly well. But sometimes you want to have it, sometimes you'll see ads that work really well at 30 seconds. But on the whole, it's a kind of a bell curve of performance. You'll tend to find about 2 minutes, 2 minutes 20 is like the perfect time for your video ad. So keep that in mind. Now, when you look at this timeline of your video, in the first 5 seconds, you're going to want to really make sure you call out your audience. Call out your demo in terms of their age group, and who you're getting in front of. Now, you don't have to say it actually physically. You say, hey, if you're between 35 and 45, you could say that if you wanted to. Like, hey, if you're a male between the age of 35 and 45, listen in. You could do it if you want to do it that way. That sounded a bit cheesy, but you get the point. What you might like to do instead of just do it visually. You might want to use some B-roll perhaps and show a gym member between the ages of 35 who's a male and 45 who's a male, for example. Just show that, because like, then someone who's watching that video is like, oh, that seems like me. That's like someone like me. So I'm therefore more interested in what this product has to say. Especially if we're talking about fitness stuff, because most people will think that's for a younger demographic, for example. But when you see it's like for 35 to 45 or even 65 plus, for example, then you're starting to see like, okay, if someone's talking about gym equipment and it's a 65 plus male, maybe this is for me then. I'm much more interested at that point. Okay, not for me personally, but you get the point. So you call it out at the start of the video, and then before 20 seconds is up, you really want to do a call to action. Now, I like to say, hey, here's the product, and here's what I've got for you. Here's where you should go and grab this product, whether it be free or whether it be paid. I'll kind of position the products early in the 20s and before 20 seconds is up, because what I want to do is make sure people know this is an ad. People know that I'm promoting something, because you do a very clever thing with psychology at this point, because what you end up finding that you do in the video itself is you're moving someone from curiosity, which you don't really want, and I'll explain why in a second, and you're moving them to, all right, convince me. And that's a great strategy to be in when you're watching a video ad. If you're getting people to watch your video and think, all right, convince me why I should go and buy this product or opt in for this webinar or whatever it is you've got, they're then justifying their decision making as to say, oh, I'm going to hang on and listen to what you have to say, but you're going to dramatically improve your click-through rates by almost pre-selling or priming them with the fact that you've got that product to promote in the first place. Okay, so you're moving them to convincing mode in their mind. But the reason you don't want curiosity is because you don't want people to be thinking, oh, this could be interesting. I'm going to hang on and listen to what, and then later on they'll be like, actually, no, it's not for me. Because if they go past 30 seconds, yep, you pay. So you don't want people watching past 30 seconds out of curiosity. We want them watching based on, all right, convince me. It's a big psychological shift in the video thinking, because so many people say, oh, start with a story or really grab their attention and use a really big, powerful hook. We've done a load of that on YouTube and it's not the best thing. If you're a creative genius or a sales genius and you want to do that, give it a go by all means, because you can get amazing results. But for the vast majority of us who aren't creative, like absolute geniuses, then you're better off kind of almost showcasing your products or what you want people to do at the end of the video before 20 seconds is up. So give it a call to action, give it a soft call to action, just to let people know. If you click that link, it'll take you through to the webinar, but let me tell you exactly what's covered in this webinar, so you can kind of give them more information there. And then what you want to do is get into your core content of your video. This is where you talk about your credibility. You talk about like break down that product, give it a demonstration perhaps, talk about the man on the street and testimonials and all that sort of stuff if you wish to as well. Kind of building that core content so it feels like it's a really, really solid ad. And at the end of the video, at that point, you definitely want to put a call to action at the end there. That's a final call to action. Make it nice and clear, make it very obvious what you want people to do and what to expect next. So if they're going to click, what does the next page look like perhaps? And then obviously add the countdown timers and add the get ready to clicks as well, should you wish. But remember, story and humor can cost you. We've created some incredibly funny ads with clients and they've worked incredibly well. And we've tried it and it's failed as well. Humor's a risky one, but story's a really risky one as well, because what you don't want to have to happen is people get engaged in the story, they think it's going to be amazing, they watch past 30 seconds, but actually they weren't interested in the product, and so then they skip the ad and it's going to cost you a lot of money, because you're going to have loads of people watching past 30 seconds and very few people clicking to actually go and buy your product or your service or sign up to it if it's free. Cool. So if you found this video useful and you found this whole series useful, please make sure you subscribe. This is your last chance to subscribe, because we're going to be releasing much more content around this. Tools, interviews, we're going to be going deep into kind of like much more detail about what it takes to make video ads work, what we've done with other clients, how the videos work best, why we do certain things, why we don't do certain things, campaign builds. We're planning on going deep into so much content in our channel. So what I'd love you to do at this point is make sure you just subscribe to this channel. So make sure on the bottom right hand corner of this video you hover over and click the subscribe button, or if you're on a mobile, make sure you look below, click the red button and subscribe. Hope you found this useful. Please do leave comments, like it, share it, whatever you think you need to do to make sure you help me out here. But I'd just love to connect with you, build this community, and I'll let you know how this channel goes, because I tell you what, we're going to be building this up. and I'm going to let you know how powerful this channel becomes versus email marketing as well. So make sure you do all those things, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks so much.